Hi there, Mirka. I'm your interim president, Trista, and House Speaker, and Pima County Sheriff. Scroll back to my Congress-ready resolution number 110 to disbar all the lawyers in federal government, and here we go on the Rule 9 privilege arguments. House ready. Tell Adelita Grijalva to sponsor it. So here we go. Rule 9 applies because this resolution implicates the constitutional integrity, dignity, and functioning of the House itself. Under House Rule 9, a question of privilege exists where the conduct described directly affects the rights of the House collectively, its ability to discharge constitutional duties, or the integrity of its proceedings. Resolution number 110 qualifies as a question of the privileges of the House for the following reasons. Constitutional impairment. Licensed attorneys serving as members of Congress and officers of the United States allegedly have failed to enforce Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, thereby permitting constitutionally disqualified individuals to exercise power. This failure directly compromises the House's constitutional role in certification, oversight, and impeachment. Corruption of proceedings. When members who are licensed attorneys knowingly certify or legitimize unconstitutional governance, House proceedings themselves become tainted, misleading the public and undermining legislative legitimacy. Collective reputational harm. The House suffers institutional injury when its members, especially those bound by professional ethical codes, are perceived as enabling insurrectionary conduct and mass constitutional violations. Urgency and continuing harm. The alleged misconduct is ongoing. Attorneys remain in positions of authority, continue to influence policy and adjudication, and remain licensed without review. Delay would compound constitutional injury. Non-delegable duty. The House cannot outsource its duty to defend its own integrity. Referral for disciplinary action is a minimum remedial step necessary to preserve the constitutional order. Therefore, Resolution number 110 properly qualifies for immediate consideration under Rule 9 as a matter affecting the privileges of the House, warranting precedence over other business. Here's a one-paragraph media explainer for the lamestream media. Resolution 110 does not attempt to punish political beliefs. It addresses professional misconduct. The resolution formally refers all licensed attorneys serving in federal office to bar authorities for emergency ethics review, arguing that lawyers who knowingly enabled unconstitutional governance, mass deprivation of rights, and failure to enforce the 14th Amendment violated their professional oaths. Congress cannot disbar attorneys directly, but it can document findings, trigger disciplinary proceedings, and remove compromised lawyers from government service. At its core, the resolution asks whether lawyers who abandon the Constitution continue to practice law while governing the nation. They can't. Let's get rid of them all. I'm Trista, your independent interim president, House Speaker, and Sheriff. Have a great day. P.S. Here's 20 newsworthy brief story angles from the lamestream media. Can lawyers be neutral during an insurrection? A legal ethics reckoning hits Congress. Congress refers its own lawyers for disciplinary review. Unprecedented self-indictment of professional failure. Resolution 110, why Congress can't disbar but can still act. Civics explainer. The Untouchables, government lawyers face ethics collapse. Bar accountability finally invoked. Rule 9 triggered over lawyer complicity and constitutional violations. Why this jumps the legislative line. From oath to obstruction when lawyers enable power. Pattern-based ethics breakdown. Is silence professional misconduct? Congress says yes. Ethics theory meets practice. Extraordinary rendition on U.S. soil. The lawyers who signed off. Legal responsibility spotlight. Why Section 3 of the 14th Amendment is back and who ignored it. Historical context and current stakes. Disbarment as a democratic firewall. Why professional sanctions matter more than elections. Congress apologizes and refers itself. Institutional accountability moment. What happens when bar associations get a congressional referral? Process breakdown. Are judges immune from ethics? Resolution 110 says no. Judicial accountability debate. The legal profession's January 6th problem. Not writers, enablers. Can democracy survive lawyers who treat the Constitution as optional? Big picture analysis, math ethics referrals, symbolic or substantive, experts weigh in. Who guards the guardrails? Lawyers as gatekeepers or saboteurs. Why isn't this political retribution? Why this isn't political retribution? Ethics versus ideology. A government built by lawyers and undone by them. Structural critique. If lawyers won't enforce the Constitution, who will? Closing moral question, final word, just for you.